What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul
and Chris. Give me the latest, Survivor recap of Millennials versus Gen X. This is Reality Room Podcast.
Episode 40, Survivor, Gen X versus Millennials, or whatever order it is. Episode 1. Okay, so, it's a new season of Survivor. Pretty exciting stuff. So let's jump into the beginning. So Gen X versus Millennials. The teams were split up, obviously, and it's pretty interesting the way they did it this season. And how do you think about that?
It definitely has a different dynamic to the game.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it's like older people versus younger people, and it'll be really cool to see which group does better in competitions, how they deal with each other, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. What's surprising, though, and we'll get to this later, some of the people on the Millennials don't really see themselves as Millennials.
They see themselves as like Gen X.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, they said, like, all these Millennials don't know what the hell they're doing, basically. They're like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, yada, yada, yada. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's jump right in the beginning. They have them all scatter around and collect stuff to bring back to their camps. Mm-hmm. Some major choices that they had. And to me, this was the biggest choice, because the rest seemed to escape me. But they had to choose between the Millennials and the Gen X had to choose between the chickens and like the fishing pole hook thing. Mm-hmm. And the Millennials chose the chickens, like the live chickens. And the Gen X chose the fishing pole. I don't know. I just thought that was bizarre. What do you think about that choice? Like on a practical level?
I don't know. I think they were just thinking at the moment. It was quick, correct?
It was quick. Jeff said something very telling. He's like, okay, the Millennials are thinking more short term with the chickens, while Gen X is thinking long term with the fishing stuff, basically. And I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting choice. Okay, so they all actually, well, first before we get into them separating, we had someone found an envelope among everything, and you know what that envelope is, right? We don't find out what's in it until later, but someone found an envelope with a special power during this little session of looking for stuff, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And the person who found it was Jessica, not Figgy, but Jessica Lewis
from Gen X.
I believe she's the mom.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of glad that she has this power.
Yeah. But
we'll get to what it is later. Mm-hmm. All right, so they get to their camps, and they're building during the night. Very interesting the way they did it. Basically, what's his name? David in Gen X. Right from the beginning, he seems to be very edgy.
Yeah. Like, is there something, like, he's kind of like twitchy, and he's like immediately talking game to everyone.
Yeah, he immediately talks game, and I believe it was to Brett and Chris.
Yes, that's correct. Brett and Chris.
Yeah, so
and he kind of like speculates that two of the people from his team are trying to find an immunity idol.
Yeah, they try to find an immunity. He thought that they found an immunity idol.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they found in his hand.
And like he has like in his hand, he's hiding it. Like
I think it was Paul. He thought that had it or something.
Paul.
Yeah,
Paul and the other
had it,
the father.
He was shitting his pants, David. Honestly, watching from home, I was like, ooh, how about none of that? All right, so that's what's going on their side, and they seem to be doing a fair job building up their camp, way better than Millennials, which let's jump to right now.
Yeah, they're not doing a really good job.
No, they're doing an awful job. Like they're messing around, they're doing whatever. Important stuff, though. They really emphasize the friendship built between three people and sort of a fourth. But we have Taylor, who we said last time is basically Mr. Millennial. Yeah. Because he's basically when people think of Millennials, we think of people like Taylor.
Young and like he's like kind of like the Prince Charming persona that he's.
Yeah, he's like open-minded, liberal, and again, things that I don't necessarily relate with, but I know that when people think of Millennials who aren't Millennials, they probably think of Taylor Lee. Mm-hmm. So him and Jessica Figgy, so Figgy, we'll just call her Figgy, whatever. Yeah. And Jay, Justin Starrett, or otherwise known as Jay. So these three built a really strong relationship the first day. Right. And they created the Triforce. What do you think about this alliance?
Safe.
Yeah,
Not the worst idea, to be honest with you. Like, I think it's a little quick because it's only been like 2 or 3 days. But I think time works a little bit different in Survivor, or who knows how it works. I'm really new to Survivor, so who knows how they edit it together and stuff like that. Like, even with the storm, we don't know how long the storm lasts. It could have been 1 or 2 days. But anyways, I think the alliance itself was kind of like okay because it shields them from like getting 2 votes against them.
The issue I had with the alliance, and I'll get to this a little bit more later, was that I felt like they made it so obvious. Now
they could have. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like they know they're being filmed and they know like where everyone is and stuff like that. So I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I think they could have edited so it was like. I don't know. All I know is that I felt like they made it obvious. One person in the alliance I felt like it's not obvious with, maybe Michelle. Yeah.
I feel like she's out of the 4 of them, because Michelle's also kind of involved in that group, and they mentioned that a little bit. And she's happy that everyone's like trusting her and stuff. She says that because she's a Christian girl, she's like the preacher or something. Yeah. She spreads Bibles around. She thinks that because people think she does that she's loyal or whatever, but she's like, yeah, I'm not. That's why I like Michelle. Mm-hmm. I like Michelle a lot. And I think out of the 4 of them in the Triforce, I don't know why they call it the Triforce if Michelle's... I guess it's the Triforce plus Michelle. I feel like she's in the best position.
So there's 10 people on one team, so I think what they're trying to do right now is just get numbers on their side. Well, they're making an alliance, and then they'll just have to get some numbers here and there.
1,000%.
So yeah, who was it? Hannah. Hannah is onto this, and she goes and talks to.
Well, was that before or after the storm?
The alliance was made after the storm, I think.
I think Hannah didn't. Actually, no, you're right. I think Hannah did notice before, so Hannah noticed them. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, yeah. So Hannah notices this, and she goes and she talks to Marie. I think that's her name.
That was after the storm. So the storm happened then, but Hannah did notice the popular kids.
I thought we were on the same subject, so I kind of wanted to just talk about the whole.
We'll get to it. I mean,
well, yeah, Hannah finds out about it, and she says that she's out of the loop.
Yeah,
pretty much,
basically.
So that's pretty much it for that.
So we go to nighttime, basically. Oh, right. One other guy. What's his face? Ken.
Yeah.
He, on the Gen X side, really steps up in building the camp. Apparently he's lived in the wilderness before.
He's in a good spot. Ken's the model guy.
Yeah.
The father. Yeah, I feel like he's in a really good spot right now.
Is he the father? Yeah. I know it's the father. Good for him. So, yeah, he's a great guy. He's the guy that does the development of... Oh, the humane kind guy. Okay. Yeah. Right. So, and he basically led his... built up leadership. Okay, so let's jump into the storm. Over the night, Millennials kind of get rained on a lot.
Yeah.
Gen X, I mean, they do too, but it's not as bad for them.
And then Jeff comes.
Yeah, they give them like a tarp at first. And they're like, listen, there's a bad storm coming, here's a tarp. And then, unprecedented in Survivor history, first time.
Yeah, they had to evacuate.
They had to evacuate. Mm-hmm. Because a cyclone's coming out. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And a cyclone is just another word for a hurricane. Mm-hmm. So they evacuate, they come back, both of their camps are destroyed. Like, what's going through your mind?
Honestly, as long as no one got hurt, that's the most important thing.
The tree fell on the Gen X.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of like fucked up, but I'm sure they can fix that.
Yeah, but if they were under that, they would have...
Yeah, they would have fucking died.
Well, yeah,
or
maybe.
Yeah.
It was the biggest
tree.
tree.
If a fucking tree hits you, you're dead.
I mean, dead, or at the very least, seriously hurt. It would have been Jesus.
Yeah. So good, obviously.
Good call on.
Good call on.
Not on Jeff, on CPS. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, Jeff saved our lives. No, it was CPS.
I know.
Come on.
I know. I'm just kidding.
No, not you, but like the people on the show. They're like, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I get it. I get what they're going.
I get it. It's a television show.
Right. So, anyways, let's talk about the aftermath. So, the tree's there on the floor.
They start rebuilding.
Yeah, they start rebuilding it.
Good job.
And then can we get to Zeke? Is that the point around now?
Let's talk about...
So Zeke, we have a Zeke moment right now. He kind of contributes to the Millennials team by making the fire.
Growing leadership,
which is, I feel like for him, it's good.
Oh, it's fantastic for him.
Because he's very likable by everyone, and the fact that he's like, stepping up to the plate, it proves that he's a valuable asset to his team.
To be frank, guys, I thought that based on his first, I don't know what they call them. I guess in Big Brother's diary room sessions, I don't know what they call
Confessional.
them. Confessional. Zeke was like, listen, I'm not anything like these millennials. I don't know if I relate to them. And then we have this.
Yeah.
Which, really shows that he stepped up his game.
I like that about him.
And people around him are respecting him now, which is good.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. So then we have, we'll stick with millennials for now.
Right. So are we going to talk about the Hannah thing?
Yeah, we'll talk about, go ahead.
Okay, so Hannah goes and tells Marie about
his girl, Marie,
yeah.
Marie, whatever you said.
She goes and tells Marie about the Figgy, Taylor, and Justin group.
Yeah.
And Marie goes and tells a couple of other people on their tribe about this small little group, and she's trying to get the numbers.
Always.
Now, we don't really know where this will be. We don't know if this Triforce will be
we don't know
downhill, or maybe they're going to get numbers. But this is something to take into effect later on in the season because
strategy.
Yeah, strategy.
I mean, for all we know, Triforce could be. They could have had a falling out by now.
Yeah.
Because, it's been a few days. But pretty crazy stuff that we're already seeing, alliances being formed in the first episode. I personally like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's interesting. However, I don't know if that's good for their game to, build this up and stick to, the same two people the whole time. If that is what they're doing. Again, it's edited a certain type of way, so I can't determine that. But... maybe Triforce should spread out a little bit, control votes, because 3 people isn't a majority.
Yeah,
they're gonna get knocked out. Let's go to Gen X.
So, oh my God, David gets paranoid, and now he starts looking for the idol.
And everyone knows he's doing it. You have fucking Brett looking at him like, the fuck's he's fucking looking for the idol.
So let's get to that's after. So so they're pretty. David knows he's not in a good spot because he knows he's got to find the idol or he's going home.
Yeah, he's a scared guy, and it is what it is, honestly. But
yeah. So you want to talk about this competition?
Yeah, let's talk about the competition. So they bring both teams together, and what's the first thing they had to do?
They had to go through ropes, I believe.
That was the first one, or was that the second?
I think that was the first one.
Maybe, yeah, I guess so.
Wasn't it a 3-part thing?
Yeah.
It was, right? The first one was the rope, and the second one was something about, they have to, go over a log. Go over a balance thing, but they both use the cheap, what's it called? The cheap way out?
Yeah,
the shortcut. The shortcut. They use the shortcut for the second part. But the first part, Millennials choose not to do it, and Gen X chooses to do it, which sucks ultimately because in part 3... of that competition, I feel like we're talking about Big Brother. Right,
so if you use the shortcut, so the third part of the competition is a puzzle. If you use a shortcut...
it adds 10 pieces to your puzzle, which fucking sucks, to be honest.
It's originally how much? 50 or 40?
It's 50, and then it goes up to...
50, 60, 70.
Yeah, I believe that's it.
Or it was 40, 50.
Well, it just adds 10. It just adds 10 more pieces to it.
I think you're right. I think it was 50, 60, 70.
So Team Gen X adds 20 pieces, and Team Millennials adds 10 pieces.
So pretty crazy stuff. We get to the end, and we have, on Gen X side, we have David, and we have Rachael.
Yeah.
So
and they do awful.
They both said that they're good at puzzles. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Really?
Well, makes you think. But they didn't do well.
Yeah.
And
they didn't step it up for the team.
Neither of them are that physical.
And I'm a little confused as to why David volunteered to do the puzzle if he wasn't good at it. Because he knew before that he wasn't in a good spot.
He probably thought that he was good at it, but he probably broke down under the pressure.
Yeah.
Knowing David, from what we've seen of him, it's a limited amount, but they showed David a lot this episode. Mm-hmm. I would say they showed him the most.
Yeah. So Jessica and Sunday, they step up the plate, but they don't really they don't finish the puzzle either.
Yeah, they don't finish it either, unfortunately. But we have the winners be the Millennials. I forgot who was working on it on the Millennials.
I don't remember. I think it was possibly Figgy and Michelle. Maybe. I don't remember.
Maybe. I don't remember. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
It was 2 girls.
Yeah, it was 2 girls. All right, so we had the winner of that, and it was Millennials. And
congrats to them. They get their first win.
They get fire in the form of Flint.
Which is pretty good.
Yes, It's not bad. And they don't get anyone to go home this week.
That's even better.
Yeah, it's way better. So we have
the Gen X meltdown. So it's between, they talk about Rachael and they talk about David.
Okay, so this is how we know it's an edited show. We have David, like, it seems like it's edging towards David, and they're like, no, maybe we'll do Rachael because she kind of dropped the ball and she was kind of annoying them earlier on, and is what it is. But we had David being like, listen, if I stay, I'm going to be loyal to you guys because I know you saved me. I know I'm in a bad spot and I fucked up.
But that's good that he's saying that.
Yeah, he's like, listen.
It's good that he's saying that because it's more than what she's doing.
Exactly. He's like, listen, I know I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm a number for you. I'll vote however you want me to vote this week. I don't have the idol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it. And at least I don't think he does. Maybe he does. That'd be crazy.
I don't think so.
All right. So you want to just jump into the vote?
Right. So there's 10 people, obviously, and no one had the immunity idol.
By the way, Rachel's close with Cece.
And we're going to get to that.
I'll get to my theory on that.
Yeah. So there's 10 people voting, and Jeff asks everyone, who here hasn't felt safe?
Everyone raises their hands. And that's just the way these games go. You always think that
no one should ever feel safe. That's the worst. That's the worst to feel when you're safe.
The person that doesn't raise their hand is the person going next.
Yep,
that's how it works. So let's jump. What are the votes? I think you have them down, right?
Somewhat, yeah. So there was 10 people voting, and I believe the vote was 1-5-4. I believe that was the case because Sunday got one vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then
David got one.
David got one vote.
So 1-1-5-4. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
1-1-5-3.
Yeah.
1-1-5-3.
Yeah, 1-1-5-3.
Yeah,
sorry,
so
guys.
The vote was, we believe it's 1-1-5-3. Mm-hmm. One vote for David, one vote for Sunday.
Yeah.
3 votes for CC, and I'll go to my theory on that later. And they'll probably show it next episode, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
And 5 votes for Rachael. Okay, so my theory on CC, and Rachael goes home. My theory on CC is that CC was close with Rachael, and like you saw them talking before the vote. Mm-hmm. And she was like, some shit's going down, Rachael. My opinion, CC did something to piss everyone off.
Yeah.
She had to have done something to piss everyone off. Like, there's no way she.
I was confused by that. Why were the votes? I don't remember who voted for who. And I feel like I probably should have just wrote that down because I think that would have been important. But I definitely think that CC, without Rachael, you think she's in a better spot? You think she would get voted out easily? Or do you think she would be able to stay longer?
No, because I don't think she should have had any votes on her to begin with.
Yeah. It should have been David. It should have been between David and CC.
David
and Rachael, my bad.
She did something to piss people off. It should, right, based on the edit, it's supposed to be between David and Rachael.
Yeah.
But something had to have happened between the edits and the votes.
Or maybe people wanted to keep both David and Rachael and just been like, fuck it, let's get CC out instead.
I don't know why they would choose her, though. Because
she was with Rachael, I guess.
I don't know.
Whatever. We'll find out next week.
I don't think that's the case. And Brett and Chris kind of led the cavalry to get Rachael out. And it seems like, and David seems to be good with them too now, at least for now. I'm not sure how it's going to go in the future, but it's interesting. Who do you think's playing a good game at this point?
Which team?
Well, not even which team, just which. If you were to pick one player that you think's doing the best that they showed, who do you think? We'll do this every episode.
What was the father's name?
The father's name
with the model?
Ken.
I think Ken's doing a good job on Team Gen X. He's really stepping up to the plate, taking a lot of leadership. He's not making himself a big target. And I feel like on the Team Millennial, it is the 18-year-old.
That would be Will.
Will.
Yeah, I think he's doing
Will and Ken.
All right, so my two are, I think Brett's doing a surprisingly good job. He's the police officer guy.
Yeah.
I think he was a police officer. Whatever, I don't have time to check. So Brett LaBelle, I think he's doing really, really good. I have the page open in case you guys wondered, how the hell does he know their last names? Because I don't know their last names. That's why I have the page open. So I think is doing good on Gen X, and I think Zeke is doing. And these are the obvious choices. I feel like that I chose, but I thought Zeke, based on the first half hour, was going to be a quick, was be ostracized, but I was wrong, and I like Zeke, so I'm happy.
Right.
Very happy. All right, so
predictions for next week.
Predictions. So our prediction is that it will be a good episode. This has been Reality Room Podcast
with Paul and Chris, and until next time, guys, we'll be covering Survivor next week. See you guys.